Hi and welcome to the Studio Marco Primeau. In the last video that I posted, I made a mistake comparing Samplitude and Reaper. I will tell you the mistake at the end of this video, but I just want to explain something before we go. I'm going to redo the same test and you'll see the result will be different. But regarding if a DAW sound the same as another one, there's a lot of ways to think about it. Most advocate of saying every DAW sound the same will tell you, well, you need to check the panning law, how the levels are managed, how if there's some oversampling, are they different? Is there a dithering when you export? There's a lot of things that you would need to modify to make them sound the same. So to me, as an end user who uses the software out of the box without any modifications, if I do some tests, they won't sound the same because I'm not going deep in them and modify everything and try to make... That's the thing. If you want them to sound the same, so be it. They will sound the same. But if you take them as they are, you download them, install them, and use them, the way you're gonna mix and the results that you get are, of course, within your ears more than in the tools that they gave you. And for an example, if an EQ is included in Samplitude but not in Reaper, they have maybe Reaper has a different EQ. If you do the same math, maybe they won't sound the same. Some EQ will emulate analog gear and some others won't. So yes, it's all zeros and ones, but other than that, you need to realize what you have and how you use it. Anyway, let's go for the test and we'll talk at the end. All right, let's do the Null test. We're going to use a file generated by Reaper. We're going to use the same file, the origin, to be sure that they are identical. So we're going to load it and I can play. And what we're going to do is to be sure that there's no variation. We're going to take two parts of this file, or let's load it again, will be easier. Like this, and we're gonna invert the polarity on one. Like this, and let's play. Okay, nothing to the meters. And let's just drag it around and resync it to see if the sound was changing over time while generating it. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in. Zoom. And I'm gonna boost just the viewer. All right, it seems to be okay. And we're gonna make a tiny loop and play again. There is some level. So let's just take another part. So what we need to do is go that way. This seems more like it. And right? Nulls. Okay, so what we just learned is that the first part of the sound, you kind of see it. There's some frequency change, and after that, it becomes okay. All right, so we're gonna export this. Zero, zero, zero. Okay. Export. Hey, time to subscribe and click the bell. Okay. And after that, we're going to use Saturn. And we're going to use amp, crunchy amp. And we're going to put it at maximum 100%. Okay. We can listen. And we export. So let's export it a second time. And then load both. And try to see if they null. Yes, they do. Okay. So this means that Saturn, when processing audio, will do exactly the same over and over. So it will null equally each time within this software. So let's see if Reaper does the same. We're going to load the same file. And let's export without any effects. Render. Reaper before effects. 96 kilohertz. Then we're gonna add the FX, crunchy amp, 100%. Let's play. Okay, let's export this. And a second time. Then we have 3 things to export. Render all. Okay. So we should have Reaper before. And after. All right. So if we go back to Simplitude, we saw that Saturn exported once, exported twice, they null. Okay. See signal, but no output. So I'm going to remove the second one, and I'm going to load Reaper Saturn 2 or Saturn 1. Doesn't matter. And we listen. They know. So as you see the little test, I did not change the levels, did not change the panning. I just used the same files and added Saturn. In this case, when we do a null test, they cancel each other perfectly. So this means that the test that I was making before was wrong. I made a mistake. I admit it. Actually, there was a plugin left in the master channel of Reaper when I made the export because I started to make other tests before I did this one. So that's the reason. You can condemn me. You can say anything in the comments. That's okay. But as I said earlier, yes, this is the result, but if I would start to mix and pan things and, well, I'm gonna tell you, they won't, the result won't be the same even if I try to make the adjustments all the same, because how the software is set up, as I said, panning laws, levels, dynamics, and also some softwares available will emulate analog gear, analog consoles if you wish, and in that case you export, they won't know, of course, because emulating analog gear is always going for the randomness and adding some harmonic distortions. So if one software does it and the other don't. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please click on like. Consider subscribing, hit the bell to get notifications. Don't forget, in the description there is some link to buy Magix products. They won't cost you more if you go from a link that I provided you. But there's a little kickback to the channel so I can keep going and create some content for you. I know it's not all scientific. I know it's just one guy in a home studio trying to do the same thing that maybe you are trying, so we can experiment together. And that's why you can say anything in the comments, ask questions, suggestions for other videos. That would be great. And of course, share the videos. It's always a good help.